Welcome back. Day number 3 of the Kickoff Clash. It's me and Custer, ready to take you through the games today. We're back. First 2 games means 2 teams going home, Scott. Elimination games. Scary stuff.
Who would have predicted that it would be Dallas Fuel and the San Francisco Shock in this position as well? They were the 2 highest seeds heading into this tournament, but they've struggled. Neither one of them has really lived up to their potential. And you have to start asking some questions of, are these teams going to be as dominant, not just in the Kickoff Clash, but this season? Have teams begun to catch up to them?
It very much feels like it. Elimination matches and number 1 and number 2 seed in them right now. Have they been figured out? We spoke actually a lot in the green room about the Dallas Fuel, how, look, they invented that Zyacom, right?
Yeah.
They've been running with that permanently. But if you kind of take a step back, how long has it been since they've been running it? Well, quite a long time at this point. And it feels like teams are very much figuring them out.
Ever since that first loss against the Houston Outlaws, it felt like they went back to the drawing board. They came out with this Zaya composition with Edison on that Reaper, and it paid dividends for them in the regular season. But now we're in the playoffs. We're playing against the best teams that we have in the league, and people have started to find answers to it. The Gladiators almost pulled them apart. They had the rush compositions to deal with them. And more importantly, Dallas Fuel, the team that is known for dive, have looked weak on it so far in the Kickoff Clash, and they got exposed against the Gladiators.
Well, their opponent today is the Florida Mayhem. I think we better get them up on stage so the crowd can take a good look at them, don't you? Please put your hands together for the Florida Mayhem. I think a team that has been through a couple of variations over its lifetime, but a couple of standout players, animated players at that. I'm looking at someone, that tank player for the Florida Mayhem. He's got to be one of my favorite players coming into the season, just how crazy he goes on camera and on stage.
I tweeted about it yesterday. He is my spirit animal, I think. Just the energy that he brings, I'm sure that is infectious, especially when you're in the match. He just brings so much energy, so much confidence. And I think that summarizes how the Florida Mayhem have been so successful this season, because nobody really had them high on their power rankings heading in. They have a lot of players that no one else was looking at, but on the big brain of Gumba, he's managed to pull these guys together and make it work. You know, Hydron and Checkmate. He was in the 2021 roster. Didn't see him play much DPS. We did see a little bit of Reinhardt that had mixed success. But then everyone else on this team has really been popping off. And I want to talk about Soma Jed. He's been absolutely incredible on that Ana, but I think he is crucial in today's match. He is aggressive. He loves to put out that damage, but he has been exposed so far this weekend. He needs to stay alive while also trying to pump out that damage that we know him for.
And that aggression should be tamed, because Dallas Fuel backline, Shio, another player, another rookie support that's come into this season, and he has been popping off. And I think maybe we get to see a little bit of Dallas Fuel, I think. Maybe? Should we bring him out? I think we should. Please welcome the Dallas Fuel! The crowd going crazy. You know why. I don't think they expected to be in this situation where they could get eliminated, Scott, but if there's one thing they do have, it is the crowd at their backs. I'm looking at that guy on the end right there, always locked in. Edison, the inventor. That guy is an absolute monster on the Tracer, and he's been performing exceptionally well.
On the Reaper as well so far this season. It's something that we've known from him, bits and pieces from his previous teams, but he sort of invented and paved the way it should be played for the Dallas Fuel. He plays that aggressive style in which the Dallas Fuel surround him, that then inherently gives the rest of the team that space. And then Sparkle as well has come in almost as a pinch hitter in this playoffs, playing that Soldier, playing that May as well, giving them a little bit of flexibility to be able to do different things. And then, you know, he's had his Genji, but we've talked about their dive. It hasn't been performing to the level, and they're going to need to step up, because the Florida Mayhem is a great dive team as well. The Dallas Fuel, they cannot have that be a weakness for them in this match.
Yeah, they can bring in Fearless if they want to play the Winston, but yeah, do you want to mirror, or do you want to go back to tried and true? With Harbin in the roster, you're like, okay, Zarya composition, but that's the weakness we talked about at the very top of the show. They are very easy to suss out. As soon as you know who's in the lineup, hey, well, you're going to run Zarya, right?
Dallas Fuel only have 2 looks. They have that Xayah composition, and then they have that Fearless dive. That's the only real things we've seen from them. And if you're the Florida Mayhem, you watched yesterday's match again with the Dallas Fuel against the Gladiators. The rush composition worked against the Xayah. The dive was exposable. So Florida Mayhem, there is a path forward. As much as they're the underdogs in this matchup, I think there is paths for success in terms of play the right composition. Maybe head-to-head, they don't match up as well against the Dallas Fuel, but if they have that synergy and that teamwork that we know that they have in them, they can expose the Dallas Fuel, who look a little rickety right now.
Well, the Dallas Fuel are lucky. They get to choose this map coming in. They go into Lijiang Tower. We're going to jump into map number 1. The team that loses here does go home, Scott. I'm looking at those backlines. Can Surmajed be tamed? He's been aggressive, and look at the damage he's outputting in the kill feed constantly. But another person that's in the kill feed, Chio, is going to be hunting Surmajed down.
You almost called it Chio Tower yesterday because of how much impact he's been having on this map. But honestly, I'm a little surprised Dallas Fuel brought Florida here. Yesterday, we saw the Gladiators pull out the rush composition, and if we're looking at it already, it looks like the Florida Mayhem are locking it. The Dallas Fuel did make it work from time to time with Hanbin on that Xayah. Maybe they've gone back, sort of tweaked the numbers a little bit, worked things around, and they are confident in how they're going to do it. But I do not want to see Dallas Fuel do what they did yesterday. I don't want to see them move over to the rush. That's not their composition that they're comfortable on. Play what you're good at. Force Florida Mayhem to play your game.
Teleports out for the Dallas Fuel. Mayhem on the rush with the May. Mayhem can just take so much free space. Look at that, Dallas Fuel already backing off, Scott.
Dallas Fuel, this is what they expected. They bring Sparkle out on this Genji. This is a Xayah Reaper Genji style that we've seen some teams use to counter the rush. You get around them and then you choose that execution of a dive with the bubble.
Nice bit of damage from Sparkle already, but Florida Mayhem sitting firmly on the point. Sparkle has to be careful too. Hydron playing the Cassidy. That magnetic grenade can be devastating to a Genji without a reflect. So much Eds. Pouring out that lamp, but Hanbin takes first blood. Someone falls, Sparkle dies, but now Florida Mayhem don't have a lot of that space to work with. Point has been unlocked, and Hanbin chasing down Checkmate. There's another kill. The Mayhem, they're going to have to be a little bit more careful. Magnetic grenade absorbed into energy as Hanbin popped the bubble, and the Fuel take first cap.
Bit of a disconnect by the Florida Mayhem there. Their backline was playing slowly, waiting for Sparkle to go in. They punish, but someone gets isolated by the rest of the Fuel. If they're going to play this style, they need to find a way to get onto the backline of the Dallas Fuel. Don't allow the DPS to engage on you first.
Florida Mayhem rotating all the way around, trying to catch the Dallas Fuel off guard. Someone putting himself on the point already. Edison is low, pop the Wraith. And now the Mayhem know it's time to go. Fielder with the Nano. The Dead-Eye though from high ground. Oh, lucky Chio escapes. A Nano boost has been applied to Edison, who's trying to take out someone. He goes so low, the Immortality Field not gonna save him. And Edison marching on forwards. The Dallas Fuel find a team kill. And they build up to 45% and counting.
Bit of a standoff there. Each of them waiting for the first one to blink, which one was going to go first. Someone getting so low before anything even happens, trading off cooldowns, but now the ultimates are starting to come up. Hanbin has that Graviton Surge, and the Dallas Fuel can potentially start cycling their ultimates like we saw from them yesterday. But the Florida Mayhem have ultimates of their own. Checkmate with the May and someone with the Shatter.
That's a lot of damage from that window. Hanbin almost goes down. A Graviton Surge to try and pick off someone. Another beat in return from the Florida Mayhem. It's way later, so Sparkle has to now back off. Chio goes down and someone just runs it down the back line. It's so hard when you beat so late, or the enemy beats so late, they can just run at you. Your overshield has disappeared. And now the Mayhem find their first cap of the series.
Checkmate uses his wall and his May ultimate to just dissuade the Dallas Fuel from walking into that Graviton Surge to pump out the damage that they needed. Great play by the Florida Mayhem, but they used everything there to try and hold on. Edison is the Reaper with this Death Blossom. He's been getting value time and time again. Keep an eye on him to get bubbled and teleport into the backline.
Nano coming up for Fielder. Death Blossom available for the Fuel. The Mayhem can hold back and speed away from that Death Blossom, or even just the Nano Reaper. Also got the wall to get all that damage, but over the top. Edison with a 5K! That's what you want to see! If you're in the home crowd, look at that! Edison is locked in, ready to go, already throwing punches.
He embodies the Reaper right now, and the Florida Mayhem get wiped at a blink of an eye, and now they have to struggle, 92% and counting. They have to move as a team.
They're trying to, but Edison's already on the back. Someone in a lot of trouble. Lamp already used. Someone goes down, and the Dallas Fuel are just going to run away with this one. No way the Mayhem can come back.
Anamo's won these before.
Anamo in a 1v5. Ain't going to happen. The Dallas Fuel take round one.
Fans appreciating that one, and I think this is important for the Dallas Fuel. Get off to a good start, have confidence in your style, and make the Florida Mayhem question whether or not this rush composition is going to work, because that wasn't close. And you can see the cycling and the use of the Dallas Fuel's ultimates is so oppressive. If you're the Florida Mayhem, though, you need to learn from that mistake. Use your ultimates better. They used way too many ultimates to counter that Hanbin grab. And here's the 5K from from Edison.
They didn't see it coming from the shadows and the top rope. Different, kind of, not really. Take it back, no difference at all there.
Dallas Fuel tried this last time against the Gladiators, and they got run over at the very beginning by the Gladiators, and then they mirrored the rush. What have they changed?
Checkmate still trying to isolate Hanbin. They've used that wall to back off the retreat of the Fuel, but Fuel are more than happy to just speed into them. Hydron on the flank, trying to dish out some damage, but look at that, the front line of the Mayhem already falling over. The Dallas Fuel are going to be able to cap once again first. Samajed, the only one to survive, has to back off, and would you look at that? We spoke about how the Fuel, they have only a couple of different looks, but tried and true.
If it works, then it works. You only need one look if you can dominate the opposition with that. Florida Mayhem, in my opinion, playing too slow. They're just waiting around, hoping something's going to happen. Someone's going to get low. But the Dallas Fuel just slowly poking them down and then choosing their engagement with the bubble onto Edison. If you're the Florida Mayhem, you need to just play that a little bit faster.
No ultimates coming up just yet. Closest thing is filled is Nano right now. Sparkle getting a whole bunch of ult charge, but you can kind of dance around the point if you're the Fuel currently. Both Sparkle and Edison taking in turns to touch. Sparkle building up to that blade rather rapidly. Fielder is a little bit faster ahead. Sparkle, oh no! Gio with the boop on the ice block. Goodbye, Checkmate. He got booped, hit the ice block, hoped he'd crash down on a platform. Didn't happen. Dissolved in the water below. And now the Fuel with a full tank of ults for the next fight.
The thing I want to point out to you, look at Checkmate's ult percentage, 44%. He hasn't been getting any value on the maze so far, and the walls haven't been that good. They need to find a way to cut Hanbin off from the rest of the team, but now it gets harder because Dallas Fuel have all of those ultimates. Which one are they going to pull first? Is it going to be the Nano Blade or the grab?
Got to look where Fielder's aiming if he's going for the Nano Blade. Hanbin going really low though, a couple of HP left. There's the Nano, there's the Blade. Sparkle finds one, Lamp's dead. Edison kills Samajed. He's struggling with the wall just a little bit, but the rest of the team are not. Sparkle with a 4K, 82% for the Fuel. The Mayhem need to come online, Scott, right now.
They're still not even onto ultimates. Hydron goes for the worldwide flank and gets slept by Fielder. Time and time again, Fielder comes in clutch, but they have the beat. They have the engagement tool with Anamo, but they're not close enough to the point. How are they even going to get here?
99% overtime is triggered. There's another boom from Gio. Goodbye, Checkmate. No Blizzard for you. Can they actually get there? I don't think they can. Gio's just guarding the bridge of his life. Overtime's ticking through. Hydron's the only one touching. He kills Fielder, but it doesn't matter. The Dallas Fuel with a clean sweep on Lijiang. Take map number one.
That was not close for the Florida Mayhem. That was a struggle start for them. Maybe not so comfortable on this rush composition. Is it going to work for them in the series? But I want to talk about the Dallas Fuel. This looks like a team that is come back and just a different beast, going back to their previous form. We've seen them level up in the playoffs before after taking a loss. I want to see that from them again, and so far, every single one of these players individually are delivering.
Sparkle, I just saw that little giggle from him. He knows how well he's done. And Edison too. You can crack a smile, Edison. Don't worry. You're doing well. We're going to go to a quick break. Florida Mayhem gets to choose the next map. We'll see where they want to go. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you're all enjoying the Kickoff Clash Tournament so far. But for those fans attending the event in person, yes, that means all of you down there. We've got some special perks that you can claim right now if you're here with us in Dallas. All you have to do is download the Overwatch League app, log in with your Battle.net account, click the gift icon in the upper right-hand corner, and that's it. Pretty simple. You can earn League tokens, but you'll also get the Overwatch League home and away Winston skin and a full pack of the 20 mascot sprays for every single team. All great stuff, so go claim your rewards right now if you're here in the venue.
Slow start coming in from the Florida Mayhem. It didn't look like they were confident in what they were trying to do. We're going to move on to Midtown, a map that I think historically the Florida Mayhem have been very good at, but it's a double-edged sword. The Dallas Fuel have also looked very good. Hanbin just seems to understand how to play these corners very, very well. So if anything though, after that dominant first map from the Dallas Fuel, if I'm the Florida Mayhem, I would like to see them go to their comfort, get someone onto that Winston.
Have to see, this was Mayhem's choice too, so hope it's a map they're well drilled on. I think Gravy's been saying every day, easy clap, easy win.
Easy clap, easy win. I'm sure he's in their headsets right now.
Oh yeah.
Forget about that first map. You know, it happens from time to time. We've seen many a reverse sweep so far this season, and it can always start here. And I think I want to see the Florida Mayhem just play to some of their strengths. It felt like they weren't really playing confident. It didn't really feel like they were wanting to take that first initiative, take that first step, and that just gave Dallas Fuel the freedom to do whatever they want. Looks like my wish is coming true though for the Florida Mayhem. Someone on that Winston as a rookie has been absolutely dominant, leading the charge. Just always seems to know perfectly how to balance that last 50 health.
That's crazy, escaping with no HP. You die really early on, especially in Midtown. It can be quite the roll. If you don't get that high ground on second point, you're gonna have a tough time and spend a lot of ultimates doing so. Remember Sparkle's rocket jump with the soldier on the high ground with the nanovisor? Pretty spicy.
Sparkle's new trick might come out again today. Seeing Hanbin switch over to that Xayah, so we're going to see both teams here on their comfort picks, but Sparkle starting on the Tracer and not the soldier. Quite interesting.
Definitely want to go on a flanked approach here. Hydron going pretty low already. So Sparkle just wants to get in a position where he can pressure that point, try and checkmate, and make sure Hydron has like 3 different ways to look. You can see now they're taking the high ground in the top right-hand corner. It's just checkmate, trying to bully them back, but it's a little bit more tough than you'd expect.
The thing I like about Chio is you can see him actually helping Sparkle clear these rooms. But we have someone on the high ground. He's waiting to find someone that he can engage on as Edison goes in with the teleport again.
Teleport bubble. Someone doesn't take all too much damage, but look at the fuel. They've moved straight under the Florida Mayhem, but now backing off. They have to wait for those Zarya bubbles to come back up. Either with Hanbin gaining a lot of energy or just like moving. Oh, Surmashed going super low. And in fact, the Dallas Fuel just runs straight to the back line. Surmashed had nothing to say in that engagement. And now the Mayhem are going to have to hopefully wait for him to come back and go again. The point has got a tick, but there's still a brief window here where they can contest.
It looks like the Florida Mayhem are starting to walk up. They want to re-engage onto this one. Checkmate goes first to touch the point.
Huge nade though, someone going super low, and Nano on Hanbin already. He's 100 energy. Surmashed doesn't stand a chance, not against the dive. Sparkle helping clean on up the Dallas Fuel in a blink of an eye. Take checkpoint A, they get that fire truck rolling with 5 minutes on the clock, Scott, and they've already taken the high ground.
Once again, the Florida Mayhem just getting caught flat-footed. What was their strategy on that first point? Just wait around, hoping? It feels like they need to find that engage window and go, but they can't seem to find it against the Dallas Fuel, and most importantly right now, Dallas has got the whole close hold.
Oh, what a grab, what a pulse. However, Sound Barrier is going to negate a lot of that damage. Hanbin pays for his sins as Hydron takes him out. No bubbles to spare. Okay, high ground control for the Mayhem. This is the spot they really want to be in, especially with this soldier.
Phenomenal sound barrier by Animo, keeping everybody alive, and that's such an important hold. We've seen many people hold for multiple minutes or even just full holding on this second point because you have this crossfire. You're going to see someone up here in this window already. Surmar can heal him from a distance, but Dallas Fuel have snuffed it out, trying to push him out early.
Yeah, taking the high ground is pretty important. Sparkle back on the Soldier. You don't want to let someone get anything for free here. Does have Primal Rage, so if he wants to isolate his supports, he can do. But Sparkle and Edison are actually holding back, making sure his supports are well looked after.
Hydron has that visor with the nano as well, something he's been so good at so far this year, always getting the value.
Teleport for Edison on the high ground. They're going to rush in with the beat. He's so close to that Death Blossom. Someone says, nah, I'm out of here. And just like that, a single beat's going to be good. And out of nowhere, Sparkle picks off Surmar.
Still no ultimates from the Florida Mayhem. What are they doing? They're not committing to anything. They're just slowly bending back until it breaks eventually when Dallas Fuel find a pick.
Spot.
Again.
How? He's now asleep, I suppose, but look at how much free push they're getting, Scott.
Florida Mayhem may as well be asleep right now because they're just not offering enough. I want to see a big engage coming in from someone. The thing he's done so much so far.
Nanovisor coming up. Edison's waiting in the wings. Nano Death Blossom, maybe Nano Harmbin. A dive onto the backline. Fielder in a little bit of trouble. Look at that, though. Nano Death Blossom straight on top of Hydron. That Nano wasn't going to save you for too long. A beautiful sleep. Oh, but the pulse is so good from Checkmate. Just weaves his way in. Sticks it to Fielder's back. Sparkle, though, still coming up with kills and nearing the visor, but he gets taken out by someone. The stand is here. However, Edison still finding kills, but with the lack of healing, unlikely that the Fuel are going to press on.
Florida Mayhem hold on to that one. A very important hold. 2.5 minutes remaining on this map. But it costs Florida Mayhem a lot. Harmbin has another Graviton Surge, but Animo has that beat. They've reassumed this high ground on the second point, and it can be difficult for this Dallas Fuel composition to control space to get in. I wouldn't be surprised to see another Sparkle jump onto the high ground as Harmbin does the same.
Graviton Surge available, thrown out. It catches the lip of the high ground. And now the visor comes through. No nano boost to back him up, but Edison doing a fair bit of damage in Animo, unfortunately whiffing the beat. A massive ultimate now denied from the Mayhem. The Dallas Fuel, all they need to do is touch the payload, just pressure it out and make Mayhem come to you, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. Someone and Surmar are dead, and the Dallas Fuel keeping the payload going. A lot of time burnt off for the Mayhem. 1 minute and 30 now remains for the Fuel. Pulse Bomb goes wide, uncharacteristic play from Checkmate, and Animo goes down yet again. Same fate for Checkmate. The Dallas Fuel running it home. 3 minutes now for the last point. Surmar goes down, a bit of free ult charge, and the Dallas Fuel continue the snowball.
Animo getting caught in the air against the visor, just gets picked down quickly. We're going to see an adjustment here from the Florida Mayhem as Checkmate moves away from the Tracer onto the Echo, maybe wanting that beam to punish Harmbin for playing this aggressive style, but Edison is hiding with that Death Blossom right now.
Don't do him dirty, Edison. He's hiding in the backline, waiting for an engage. So does teleport, and he's revealed himself, so the Florida Mayhem know to scatter. Visor activated for Hydron, but instantly Harmbin and Edison, tag team duo, taking care of the Mayhem. Hydron once again denied any usefulness of the tactical visor, and Edison finds himself 3 kills in that fight. The Dallas Fuel, they have 2 minutes to go to put this payload in. Couple of ults for the Florida Mayhem may stem the bleeding just for the time being, though.
They're on a roll right now, and most importantly, Harmbin is holding close with that Graviton Surge. He's going into spawn. Are they going to Graviton Surge the spawn door?
Touch the spawn door. Very easy. Edison with the nano. Doesn't get too much stuff done, but they still end up finding a kill. Now someone's in the back line, but look at that. Straight in the spawn is Harmbin. He's taking a fair bit of damage, but not enough to dissuade the rest of the Fuel, just running over the Mayhem. They still got time in the bank. Florida need to touch. They ain't gonna do it. And the Fuel completes 1 minute and 30 seconds in the time bank.
Florida Mayhem don't seem to have the answer to this Dallas Fuel Xayah composition. We saw the Gladiators expose it yesterday, but something is just not working for them. They need to start finding their groove. As I said so many times, they just are always so slow. They are never the ones taking the initiative, and that's just giving Dallas Fuel free reign. Harmbin, if you give him any space, you give him an inch, he's going to touch your spawn door, and he has done that multiple times already in this match.
Just grabbing on almost no HP, straight in the spawn, taking care of both the Lucio and the Echo. Anamo's just not had the sharpest of game either. Lost that beat on the second point. He's been just permanently, I feel like he's in a Lucio mode where it's like, okay, I got to touch. I just have to permanently touch. Like, they're pushing it way too far. I need to just get onto this payload, stay alive, wait for the rest of my team to respawn, and then they can dish out damage, and hopefully we can turn the tides, but it's just not working out.
Dallas Fuel recognizing the win conditions of the Florida Mayhem as well. We've talked so much about Hydron's nano visors. They do so much damage. He knows that perfect window, but it feels like every time Hydron's tried to do anything on Lijiang Tower, he got slept. In this last one, Edison's in his face with his own nano Death Blossom. Hydron needs to start trying to find this value on the soldier, otherwise the Florida Mayhem, the doors might close before they find any footing.
Remember, whoever loses this series does end up going home. The winner advances to later today. Dallas Fuel with a nice defense. A few nice nades coming out from Fielder super early on.
We've seen this setup from the Dallas Fuel before. They like to keep Sparkle in this window, and the Dallas Fuel don't want to let the Florida Mayhem get into this alleyway. They're going to fight for this as you see Edison go in.
Oh! Edison bubble dancing. Anamo tried to go, or like come for the rescue, didn't end up working out, and now they're all trapped in this very, very shady looking alleyway. Not where you want to be if you match up against the Fuel. 3 minutes to go. The Mayhem not found any ground yet to take.
Dallas Fuel play this point so well. They never give you any positioning. The top train is a death trap. This alleyway, if you can get your team around there, you can almost pincer the defending team. But the Dallas Fuel recognize that they will never allow you to get down this alleyway with anyone other than the Tracer. And you can see Hanbin. He doesn't want to play on the high ground. He likes to play on this taxi and wait for them to go. But Florida Mayhem are going to engage on them.
Wow, Hanbin actually just gets deleted. Fielder was so close to his nano. Edison Chio doing what they do best in killing, but the problem is Checkmate and the rest of the gang for the Florida Mayhem are going to be good. No ultimates expended. Fielder was a couple of percentage away from saving Hanbin. Maybe that's why Hanbin went aggressive, thinking that Fielder would have that nano to back him up.
Florida Mayhem, that's what I want to see from them. Play that aggression. Sparkle, Dallas Fuel wanted to go for that re-engage, but with Sparkle down, this is a lost cause almost. I'd be surprised to see Dallas Fuel re-engage in this one. Try and get out with that Hanbin energy and set up on that high ground on the second point that we say is so valuable, but Florida Mayhem not letting them have it.
Oh, this is good. This is what you want. If you're the Florida Mayhem right now, you want to get the high ground ASAP, and that's exactly what they're doing. Chasing down the Dallas Fuel. A lot of ultimates, almost every ultimate for Florida Mayhem, 99% for someone. But the Dallas Fuel have got a whole concoction of their own.
A much better look here from the Mayhem, playing their own tempo, not allowing the Dallas Fuel to be the ones going first. I wouldn't be surprised to see Florida do something extreme right now to not let Dallas just engage with Hanbin's Graviton Surge.
Well, Hanbin's lining up for it. Purple onto Fielder has been... Oh... It's been disengaged, or they're attempting to disengage, but they got to go for something. So they grab someone. He pops the Primal Rage and it's going to be okay. It's a 5v4 with Checkmate moving the payload, but Edison kills off someone. There's the beat, Hydron, Nano, Visor. The beat is just going to absorb so much of that damage. Now Hydron in trouble. He's got the beat to back him up. A clutch from Anamo to keep the team alive and keep Hydron where he's going to be able to do the most work up on that high ground. Hanbin gets nanoed, however, and pushes him off. A return visor from Sparkle kills off Sir Majed. And the Florida Mayhem, they push the card a fair while, Scott, but they've not made much progress. The Fuel are coming up once more big. They're getting the high ground control once again.
Anamo with the twinkle toes there, just putting Hanbin through a loop right now and managing to get out. But the Dallas Fuel have set up on this high ground, but how many times have we seen this get done? Edison with the Death Blossom. He's going to be hiding, he's going to be waiting for you, and that's going to be the engagement tool. And Florida Mayhem have no answers to this.
Edison's got the Death Blossom. It's going to be haunting Florida Mayhem's dreams. That was a close one-shot. Headshot and a melee, easy game. Mayhem just asserting their presence on the high ground. Look at that, Dallas Fuel backing all the way up, but ideally you just want to make sure they come to them. Edison on the top rope again. An inconceivable amount of kills from the Reaper already. He takes care of 2. And with 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go, the Mayhem have to back off. Someone ends up dying. They're at least building up a few ults, but Dallas Fuel, their ultimate economy, looking so strong, Scott.
So smart by the Dallas Fuel to disengage, give Florida Mayhem that space only to take it right back with that Death Blossom. So Checkmate goes down just here, but he has that pulse bomb. He came up last fight clutch getting that pulse bomb onto Fielder. He needs to do the same again.
Nano, Edison running straight at the back line. Nice boom from Animo. But look at Hunter just jumped straight in front of him. The Nano fights it to try and counter, but he just got one shot. The Dallas Fuel once again touching that spawn door.
That hurts. I don't think Florida Mayhem were ready for that level of aggression.
Look at what they're holding, Scott.
Touch the spawn door. Dallas, let him out. Come on. This is just rude at this point. You can't keep leaving them in there. Harbin is so aggressive. He's going to get caught out.
Should be fine. He's got a lot of healing. Fielder off on that high ground. Okay, now they back off, Scott. But look, Graviton Surge. Oh, Checkmate was touching the payload that whole time. Yeah, they got to respond. A nice work from Checkmate, drawing the Dallas Fuel all the way back, granting them that space that they wanted. Helix rocket from downtown, taking care of Sparkle.
Checkmate's doing a phenomenal job just forcing the positioning of Dallas Fuel by being annoying on that card.
TP onto high ground. There's the grab from Hanbin. Surmajed is dead. Nothing more to see here, folks. Hydron was put to rest as well. Hanbin with 3 kills. 50 seconds to go. The Mayhem need to find something now, Scott.
Dallas Fuel are going to play aggressive here. They want to force these ultimates out by the Florida Mayhem. We're going into last fight territory with only 45 seconds remaining. Sparkle has that visor. Chio with that beat to answer the aggression from the Florida Mayhem. How do they bust this wide open? I'm pretty sure someone's going to go deep with this Primal.
They're going to have to do something. They also need to touch the payload. There it is. Engagement from someone. Nice bubble from Hanbin to save Sparkle. He spotted the tactical visor, but immediate response from the Mayhem. They can use that beat to surge on forward, put a nade and a sleep straight onto someone, denying the Primal Rage. Very few tools left in the arsenal for the Mayhem. They're merely causing a ruckus right now. It's Edison in the back line again. The Death Blossoms have been so good. The Dallas Fuel, you might as well touch the spawn. Someone forced to use the Primal Rage. He can't even touch. The Dallas Fuel putting themselves on match points against the Mayhem. The Mayhem need to come back. They lose this next map, Scott, they're going home.
Everything that the Florida Mayhem threw at the Dallas Fuel, the Fuel had an answer. It felt like every time they tried to do anything, there was another hammer at the door. Someone in that final fight getting slept, I believe, before he's able to use that Primal Rage. He falls, and then the front line is lost, and the Dallas Fuel just run through the rest of the team. Dallas Fuel looking absolutely exceptional today. I would not want to be in the lower bracket right now with how well they're performing.
Absolute dominance coming out from the boys in blue. One more game and they'll be through. We'll see you guys after this break. Map number 3 coming up in a bit. The man, the myth, the luchador. For 200 League tokens, you can get the Kickoff Clash legendary skin, the Luchador Reaper, on sale now through June 25th. You're going to want to pick that one up. It's going to go away soon, so yeah, there you go. All right, Dallas Fuel versus the Mayhem. 2-0. The Mayhem. I need to step it up, Scott.
This is not the Florida Mayhem that got the number 4 seed. This is not the Florida Mayhem that has been impressing us all season so far. Yes, they're going up against the Dallas Fuel, a team that has been dominant, especially on that Zarya composition. And I think that's why they've moved on. We're going over to Watchpoint Gibraltar, and that means a fundamental switch in how this game is going to be played. We got subs coming in from the Dallas Fuel, the Classics. We have Gurio coming in here, as you see on your screen, for Edison. And where there is Gurio, there is Fearless as well. We talked about this in leading into this match. The dive has been a weakness for the Dallas Fuel so far.
It really has. And Gurio didn't have an exceptional performance on the Widowmaker versus Arns, but then both Widowmakers weren't doing so hot. But now it's time to step it up. There's a man everybody loves on your screen right now. Harmin stepping back. We got Fearless stepping up. Winston versus Winston against someone.
It's a good matchup. I'm excited to see this one.
Hydron did really well, though, I will say, on the Widowmaker yesterday.
Yeah, let me talk about that a little bit more. Hydron went toe-to-toe with Happy yesterday, and I think came pretty much even. He had good value. He was forcing Happy into positions, and he was getting impactful picks. But let me talk about Gurio, because he did not have that same level of impact in their match yesterday, and it was a problem. So they need to put their confidence in him again, and he needs to play with more confidence. Yesterday, he got 4 final blows to 11 deaths, which is, we just need to see more from him. We know he's a phenomenal player. We know he's a rookie. He can step it up. If he's going to do it, he needs to do it now. Get that confidence up, because even if they beat the Florida Mayhem, it gets harder from here.
It does. It's only an upward tilt battle. Looks like both teams are ready to rock and roll. If Florida Mayhem lose this, they are out, and the Dallas Fuel will advance to later today. The number 2 seed jumping down to the lower bracket quite early on, but they are just primed and ready to go. Gibraltar is the map. This could be a clean sweep, and what a massive confidence booster that would be for later on today.
We've talked about so many reverse sweeps, it just doesn't feel like it's in the air right now, so I don't know what you do as a coach if you are the Florida Mayhem, but you need to find a way to get these guys in. Fortunately for them, this is a dive map, something that they should feel comfortable on. They're going to end up in that mirror. I'm curious to see where some of these players are going to go in their hero selection. Sparkle, I was expecting to play Genji yesterday on this map, but actually decided to play the Tracer. While Checkmate, someone we've seen play the Genji and the Tracer as well. So are we going to see a mirror on the Tracer, or are we going to see some Genji?
Crowd definitely wants a 3-0, that is for sure.
They had a tough day yesterday.
They did have a tough day, but today is a new day. Sparkle on the Tracer. No Genji. I want to see Gurio with it. I want to see that massive impact we know he can be. No way Hydron plays the Shojin coming out of spawn.
Someone on the Roadhog. Another oldest trick in the book. We did see him actually play it legitimately in the first weekend. It was a little bit of a troll, if I'm being honest. It did not work for them as well, and I don't expect him to stay on this. He's going to walk out, throw the hook, hope someone is getting a little bit too greedy close on, and see if he can get that hook. Fearless having none of it, actually drops the Winston bubble to negate that one.
Florida Mayhem actually have a completely different comp than we expect here. Hydron on the Tracer and Checkmate on the Genji, so they don't want to take this Widow 1v1.
Interesting, something that I thought they would have had the advantage on, but would prefer to apply pressure in the form of a dive rather than the Widowmaker head-to-head. I don't hate this. On offense, on Gibraltar, we see offensive Widow. If they just don't get any picks, they don't get those impactful headshots, it can just snowball out of control, and before you know it, you've been full health. The Tracer gives you more consistent value, but Hydron's being hunted down right now.
He hasn't got recall either. Sparkle with an easy cleanup. No health pack at all. Oh, good sleep, in fact. Onto someone. He's so low. He might not be able to get out of this. The nade's going to come from above. Goodbye, someone. Although Sir Marged, actually, him and Hanamo came to the rescue. Can they survive in this small room? Sparkle now trying to find the flank. Oh my god. Okay, taking the damage into your own hands. The Florida Mayhem backline wipe out the Dallas Fuel. They're going to have to go for a reset.
Fine, I'll do it myself, the backline says. They run through. This is what we expect from Sir Marged. Phenomenal play. Most importantly right now, they've got control of this server room so they can play safely. You can see Fearless trying to route around them as we get into this, close to this checkpoint.
Oh, Sparks in trouble, has Pulse Bomb. Someone is antied yet again, a big stick. Arnamo falls. Sir Marged close to that Nano. That's what they're going to have to use to sustain them in this fight. If they choose to stick here, of course. But now he's under a lot of pressure. Dive from the Fuel. And Sir Marged dies, and with a closer spawns, you'll take that trade any day of the week if you are the Fuel. Goodbye, someone. All too common, we see full holds here on Watchpoint Gibraltar. And with all these ultimates that the Fuel are bearing right now, the Mayhem are going to have to rely on this Nano Blade.
Sparkle coming up clutch with that Pulse Bomb onto Animo. That was so important. Florida Mayhem had all the positioning, busted that wide open, but as you said, the Nano Blade is coming up for the Florida Mayhem. You only really get one good ultimate cycle, but here we come.
Hydron opening this one up. Checkmate has to worry about one less person and just focus on the supports. Nano Blade for Checkmate. He's in the back. The rally's coming out from Chio. Can he finish anybody off? No, he cannot. He just gets double booped away. There's almost no damage coming out from the Genji, and Fearless comes up big. That Primal Rage squishing the Mayhem. The one ultimate combo that you needed to work if you're Florida. Completely denied by Chio. The rally, whip shot, and you're out.
Broke his ankles right there. Checkmate gets a little greedy with the dash, thinking he went through the door. No one's there. Can't catch up, and now they're in trouble. They only have the Primal Rage by someone and the rally for Animo. Ooh, Sparkle hits the wall. Take that, wall.
Okay, there's the Primal Rage. Fielder got hit with an anti-2. Fielder dies. This could be trouble for the Fuel. Sykes is still active for the Dallas Fuel. They do eventually fade away, and Chio finds himself in a very unfavorable position. The Dallas Fuel, they have Fielder coming back, but without Fearless having that Primal Rage, looks rather unwinnable right now. Checkmate chases him towards his spawn, and that will be it. First point for the Mayhem. A fantastic nade from Sir Marged to set that whole thing up.
Yeah, Dallas Fuel getting a little too aggressive with that backline, and the Florida Mayhem do a great job punishing. Now we get onto this second point, and we talk about how important this snowball is. If you can get this positioning and force the Dallas Fuel to be under pressure walking out of these doors, you can get this point for almost free. But you can see the Dallas Fuel trying to take control of this ship back.
Doing just that. Sparkle got anti, that's to play a little bit further back than he wants to. Same with Gurio right now. He's only now retaken the ship, but spots two players up on the high ground, trying to deny him as much space as possible. Good bubble from someone on the entry onto the dive. Chio extremely low, literally 1 HP, somehow survives, and Gurio finds his first headshot of the game, or headshot kill, I should say, in Hydron. And the Dallas Fuel are just trying to corral Mayhem in this small health pack room to set Fearless up with the Primal. That's a whole bunch of damage. Can they finish up? Checkmate getting resets. Fielder and Chio are dead. Checkmate going crazy in this room. Maybe it doesn't belong to the Fuel after all. Fearless does kill one, but he eventually gets cleaned in the Fuel. not expecting all the damage coming out from the Genji. Nano Blade for them too now.
Chadmate coming in clutch, and they have control, and they didn't use anything for that as well. The Dallas Fuel are going to re-engage. They have ultimates of their own, but a pulse bomb onto Chio, who's coming up to that rally, is going to be very important.
Okay,
when are they going to pull the trigger?
Not too bad. There's the Nano, there's the Blade. He eventually pulls it out. Doesn't find Deadly Breach. No, tell a lie. 1/2 kills. Now Fearless is on the end of this Blade. Unfortunately for the Fuel, with Fielder dying, they may rely on this rally to back them up, but the point was taken. The Florida Mayhem now can make use of this space they're granted, and the third, they're pushing on it with 2 minutes and 45.
Gurio, not sure what he wants to do, switches over to the Soldier, but back to the Widow. I like the Widow pick here. I think it gives you such long sightlines, and it forces the Florida Mayhem to respect the sightlines from the Dallas Fuel. We still have a lot of ultimates coming up from the Florida Mayhem, though. They have those engagement tools with someone and Animo. How are they going to set this up?
I think Hydra, he's so low. Double blink out. Once again, Sparkle coming up big in the 1v1. Hydra had health pack advantage too. Pulse Sparkle. Oh! Let's go, Sparkle.
That's a player who has impressed me. Ever since I called him a D-tier tracer on Twitter, I think he's doing it to spite me at this point. He has just been absolutely exceptional on that tracer. Just his pulse bombs, I think, are the thing that are most impressive. Very, very consistent. So now, the Florida Mayhem running. Hydron picking up that Widow duel and getting the first pick.
Look how patient he is. Chio, though, being a good...
Oh, what?
Whoa.
Intended.
Oh, that was a bit strange. He's good, though. Sparkle has to be careful. Does recall. Can he hit with a headshot? Not quite. Hydra now in trouble. 60 HP and diminishing. He's getting a lot of healing from his backline with a rally from the Mayhem to try and push them on. They still have to worry about Sparkle in the back. Hydra getting focused down. It'll be a free line of sight here for Gurio if they do take care of Hydron. Not going to be quite so lucky, but the dive target has been changed. Surmashed now falls. Fearless and Sparkle once again in the backline causing havoc. Gurio gets revenge on Hydron. And Fuel coming up big once more in this team fight. A minute to go now.
Chio's rally just keeping the backline of the Dallas Fuel alive. Someone has been holding on to this Primal Rage for what feels like forever, unable to find a window to get in. Florida Mayhem running out of time right now. We're in final fight territory. They're coming up to the Nano Blade again. We saw Checkmate go huge last time.
Has to be big, but Dallas Fuel have got ults of their own. They're Primal to maybe deny it. They also got a Nano from Fielder. They just have to wait for the Checkmate Blade. This is the last tool that they can potentially get a team wipe close to. Oh my word, Sparkle was not seeing Fearless neck there. He's like, oh, like a bit of whiplash maybe. Checkmate with a very, very nice pick to start us off, but Gurio activating those sights. They're going to play a little bit more safe. Okay, Blade online, but already Fearless jumping into the backline. The perfect pick, the perfect 2 picks. In fact, Surmashed couldn't even get that Nano off. Does Checkmate pull the Blade, or do Florida Mayhem try to wait now? There's 5 seconds to go, and they still need to touch that payload. Once again, the Dallas Fuel happy to play in the spawn doors. Someone backing up. Fearless has been taken out, and now they can't touch. Scott, I'll finish that sentence. Now they can't touch. The Nano Blade, the only ultimate combo they had to come into the fight, gets completely denied by Fearless in the end.
That fight perfectly encapsulates, in my opinion, the entire issue with the Florida Mayhem so far. Checkmate gets a phenomenal kill for free onto the Sparkle Tracer, yet they're still hesitant. They're not willing to go in. Instead, Fearless goes in with the Nano Primal and kills 2 people before the Florida Mayhem have a chance to even answer. They're just not being proactive. They need to be faster. It looked like it was getting better so far in that map, but at the 3rd point, just a little too slow.
Ready for battle.
All right, Mayhem's defense. Remember, if they lose this, they're gone. Goodbye. The Fuel just want to end it right here, right now. Just dust this match off, move on to the next one a little bit later on. They'll be facing the winner of the next game.
Which, if you're a betting man, would be the San Francisco Shock. It's a matchup I would like to watch today, but hey, never say never for the Houston Outlaws. Maybe the Dante Doomfist might come in clutch finally. But we go on to the offensive round for the Dallas Fuel. They've looked good so far. Spark on that Tracer has been making waves. Gurio on this attack round, as I said, I want him to impress me. I want him to impress everyone. Start making him valuable. Fearless going for the same thing on the Roadhog.
That ain't happening. Here's the shield. It's all good. All good. All right, we're seeing Hydron actually start on the Widowmaker this time too, Scott. Ooh. Jump up. Ooh, that was close. Don't want to peek that. Jeez.
The Tracer waiting.
Almost got a haircut there. Yeah, Gurio's fine.
This is an interesting first point in the Widow head-to-head. It's all about forcing the positioning. What Gurio is going to want to do is slowly take more and more space, force the Florida Mayhem to respect him and slowly fall back, while Hydron's going to try and hold the door. You can see him playing under the cart as Sparkle slowly pushes it forward.
Got to check all those grapple spots just in case Hydron peeks his head. He's way back now. Whoa! Yeah, even Curio was like, wow, that was like he just got timing there, I felt like.
Yeah.
He was just dropping down, trying to find something, and Hydron peeked him at the exact time.
It's always the way. As soon as you unscope, they go, as does the Dallas Fuel.
Nice dive, though. Hydron getting double pocketed right now. Fearless going super low. Couldn't jump out. Didn't have the cooldown available by the looks of it.
I want to highlight here, Dallas Fuel, they don't have that nano blade that the Florida Mayhem had. They don't have that big ultimate that's going to break open this first point. So they're going to need to find other avenues through. We have Sparkle behind them. He needs to start finding picks, forcing the Florida Mayhem to turn around that all and allow the Dallas Fuel to get in.
Oh yeah, they know. He's so close to Pulse though. You still got to be careful. Oh, field off screen, dies to someone. And a nade maybe? Little assist there from Somerjet. Well, it could just be damage, to be fair, as Somerjet, of course. Damage wizard. Okay, a little jostling on the payload. Taking a lot of time to try and move it through the car wash, though. 2 minutes to go, Scott.
2 minutes. It's so quickly. The watch point Gibraltar, the first point time falls away from you. The Florida Mayhem, they haven't had to really use anything to hold this as well. They have the ultimates in their arsenal. The only thing I can ask for is that they go first, but Dallas Fuel look like they're going first.
Oh, Hydron. Yeah, he's picking up some slack right now. Killing Sparkle like that. Look, the Dallas Fuel don't want anything to do with this fight.
I don't want to keep beating this drum, but Gurio needs to show something now. He's not even at his ultimate yet, and we're 2.5 minutes into this round. Needs to start getting aggressive, needs to start taking these duels because they need to find an opening.
Okay, Nano Boost unlocked for Fielder. Instantly using it, you see that? Nice little grapple shot, but Fearless is the one you want to look at. Ideally, Animo falls. Oh, nice little juggle, trying to get away from that sleep dart. Oh, Somerjet misses it. Now he's backed up into a corner. Fearless with a double kill onto the supports. And now he's in their spawn. Hydron just waiting for him. The bubble's going to disappear in just a moment. Should be able to get away. He does. But he is on the spawn doors, but he's causing enough of a distraction, Scott. The Dallas Fuel might be able to do this. Bumps his head on the Venom Mine, and now someone's opening this point up. Rally available from the Florida Mayhem, and with those sights online, the Dallas Fuel fighting an upwards hill battle.
Dallas Fuel have no ultimates left in this fight. They used them all to get in, and now Florida Mayhem's turn to go in. Someone's in with the nano boost.
Fielder gets antied. A rally in response, but it's not going to be enough. That overhealth wasn't building up fast enough. The Dallas Fuel need to either reset now or try and find something in this fight, but with the rally committed, they might want to do, or at least find some kills. Okay, Gurio now online, but again, they do this trade, Scott. Not exactly where you want to be. A bit of overhealth will soon disappear. Gurio in a lot of trouble. There's no supports in sight. Fielder pops his head around the corner, but not quite quick enough. 11 seconds to go. The Dallas Fuel need to find something on this first point.
Sparkle stuck behind the Florida Mayhem. They're turning back for him and trying to punish, but he's out. No, never mind.
He's out. Oh, the Venom Mine picks him up. Checkmate with the pulse bomb. He sticks Fearless. Fearless goes down, and this is where Florida Mayhem are making it their stand. A nice little counter bash there from Arnamo stops the aggression from the Fuel, and the Florida Mayhem will take a map.
We said this was the win condition from Florida. If they can get them onto their dive composition, they should be having the advantage, and they do. Got to give credit to Hydron. Very good so far in that map on that Widowmaker, getting the picks when they mattered, shutting down Sparkle.
I think that's just the tale of watch point Gibraltar. You either make it to first or make it to last. That's about it. Second point, rather assailable. The Florida Mayhem want to start that reverse sweep. We're going to go to push next. It's going to be up to the Dallas Fuel where they want to go. We're going to jump to a break. Don't go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss it.
Florida Mayhem looking pretty tight, pretty coordinated, and individually talented as well. They got me sweating.
Oh, look what's popular.
Oh, he sees this there. No, he kicks him as well. Oh, Kevsigan's headshot. A kick and a headshot. This is why Grid is such a big player. Gets two. Nice. I didn't see him actually on the flank.
The Zip Coalescence coming through to heal everybody up. J-Mag instantly goes down though. XC at the back. Nice little three-piece. That's what we wanted to see. Make that four.
Literally 1 speed. You gotta get the heals.
They're so unique, they're so creative, and the narratives have yet to be formed.
See how aggressive the players of Florida are. It always seems like Florida's starting the fights.
Welcome back. The reverse sweep is starting right now for the Florida Mayhem. Or can Dallas Fuel just close it out here? It is the Fuel's chance to choose a map. Scott, where are we going?
Heading over to Colosseo, not too much of a surprise. A map that we've seen a lot of Xayah from so far this season is a map that they felt comfortable on. I'm curious to see if we're going to see the Hanzo coming out from Edison. It's something that we saw that sort of Hanzo standoff shooting down the corridor on that first fight. I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen again, but if you're the Dallas Fuel, you forget that map. You understand that is your weakness. Go back to your comfort pick. You got Hanbin on that Xayah.
Yeah, Hanbin on the Zarya and Edison on the Hanzo. That was kind of funny, that the composition, the two Hanzos.
I see you. Hello. I don't know where you are, but I'm waving into the crowd.
Yeah, it was kind of funny watching the two Hanzo compositions just kind of look at each other and then just wait and wait and wait. Okay, now you got a headshot. Okay, now we go in. But it's good to see kind of Grab Dragons back at it again, but he's a very slow comp when it comes down to it. So maybe the Mayhem want to switch something up.
Also,
put a fast one on him.
We saw Pelican go absolutely crazy on the Hanzo yesterday in the Houston Outlaws match. They could do that again. So I think if you're the Florida Mayhem, though, you need to use that as confidence, because that's the one thing I think they've severely been lacking in this matchup. Someone I want to see him play more aggressively. Now, Jack, let me pose you this question. Is there a world in which you see someone move over to that Xayah, not comfortable with everything they tried to throw at it? Do you ever mirror it and feel comfortable in your own play?
Ideally, you want to feel comfortable in whatever you're playing, right? That's the obvious PR answer, I think, of all of those. But I mean, I'd just rather go what you're kind of strong with. If they can run this like heavy rush, if the Dallas Fuel want to play the slower game with the Hanzo sitting all the way at the back, waiting for the picks, if you just kind of run at them, just mess up that tempo a little bit, could be the kryptonite.
In theory, it works, and we saw the Gladiators do that against the Dallas Fuel yesterday, but my fear is that it just did not work. We saw them do it on Lijiang Tower, and that map was not close at all. So if that's not comfortable, I definitely don't want to see them move towards anything massively different, but something has to change, because right now, they've got their back against the wall, against the ropes, and they could be going home. Remember, this is an elimination match in the lower bracket.
And the Dallas Fuel do not want to go out in front of their home crowd, that is for sure. So they want to end it right here, right now. No more questions about how they can play that Zarya comp. No more questions about how they got to the lower bracket to begin with. It's just like, oh, we want to play extra games. It's whatever. Yeah, more games, more fun.
More games, just get some warm-up, break off that rust, get rid of that land jitters. I could see Dallas Fuel doing that. Come back in the grand finals against the Gladiators. You never know.
Yeah.
It's a great story.
It is. Will they stick to it? Colosseo could be our final map. Here we go. Want to see what they're running. Will someone go on the hyper-aggressive Winston or the Rhine? Not the ball. There's no way. There's no shot.
Wait, we saw it last night. We actually saw, really? I believe it was the Hongzhou Spark, I think it was, who pulled it out.
Bellasaria.
Bellasaria? Oh, no, it was Bellasaria. It was Philadelphia Fusion.
Philadelphia Fusion played the ball, yeah.
Did not work at all, so would not recommend. But there we see their choice. They're going to come out on the rush. Let's hope that with a little bit of time, a little bit of break to talk to the coaches, they can have some more confidence and play faster, because that was my issue with it last time we saw it. Just too slow. They're just allowing Hanbin to get energy and allow them to choose the tempo. Edison's on this Hanzo now as well, so you're going to want to go really fast, otherwise there's too much damage.
There is, look at that, already trying to separate Hanbin with the wall. If Edison randomly gets a headshot here on the, oh well, Hydron way too far in. Way too far. Seems like maybe a bit of a missed call, or he found himself overstepping just a slight bit. The Mayhem, you see that, like a springboard, the Fuel take it in and then pump out the damage. They take control of the bot and get it moving.
It needs to be on checkmate with these May walls to isolate Hanbin. I don't know what Hydron was doing going that aggressive on the soldier, just gets punished instantly. But now they have this defensive high ground that they can play on to keep their backline alive, but someone's going fast and they don't want to use the high ground, they just want to go. And I like this look, it just needs to be more coordinated.
There's so many ways you can hide around these pillars too. So you can kind of reset for that shield, wait for the speed boost to come back up. There's the wall. Nice little boop onto Hanbin to try and force him into the AoE hammer of the Rhine. But look at this, already a massive nade. Immortality field actually forced. Edison takes care of it, and Hanbin just running through the window. And Florida Mayhem, they thought they had the Dallas Fuel on the ropes there, separating Hanbin from the team, but a team kill for the Fuel, and they get the robot moving again.
Hanbin found a gap in the fence, and then the Florida Mayhem just had no purchase, nothing to go with. Now we have the patented Graviton Surge and Dragon Strike from the Dallas Fuel. They're going to try and get towards that one, but they're going to play under the bridge. But the Dallas Fuel have taken the high ground. They want to take this high ground fight as someone starts engaging.
There's the visor from the side. Sparkle and Shio not quite so lucky. Okay. The Dallas Fuel take the high ground, but Hydron just a quick left flank. And there's no shields really for the Fuel. I mean, they can hide behind Harmid's bubbles, but they ain't going to survive for too long. But the problem is right now for the Fuel, they got Grav Dragons to mess with next.
Fortunately though, if you're a Mayhem fan, Checkmate does have that May ultimate, the Blizzard. Last time we saw Hanbin Graviton Surge, Checkmate actually put it at their feet, not allowing anyone from the Dallas Fuel to walk up and get close to the Graviton Surge.
Look at Hanbin, he's just walking straight at the back line. He wants to find somebody. He can't really find much. Okay, 2. There we go. Blizzard not used just yet, but the Dragons are. Immortality Field has been killed, but the beat from the Mayhem. They're going to survive the initial engagement, and a shatter from someone, the Blizzard on top. They're all ice cream cones now. The Dallas Fuel frozen to death. And the robot is taking control. The Mayhem are in control of the robot now, and they get it moving. They might be able to catch the lead here too. They're playing so far up to the spawn.
Much better play by the Florida Mayhem, choosing their engagements. We see the switches come out from the Dallas Fuel. Sparkle onto the Genji, Edison onto that Reaper will give them a lot more aggression and being able to spread the Florida Mayhem around. They've got the amplification matrix, but they haven't found anything.
Oh, everybody's hiding in that back room. There's a health pack in there, so they might be okay even without healers for the time. But all the meanwhile, Animo is pushing the robot forward, is finally getting contested as Dallas Fuel try and make their move. And Nano onto Edison, the Immortality Field disintegrating, and so is the rest of the team if they're not careful. A good sleep onto someone, laying on his back now, laying in the spawn. Edison pushing on, another kill. Sermoshed falls, and the Dallas Fuel making their stand just before the Florida Mayhem could take the lead.
Great reaction by Dallas Fuel against that amplification matrix. They hide from it, and then with the aggression from Florida trying to get value out of it, they spring backwards, run over them with the nano boost onto Edison. Dallas Fuel, not many ultimates left in the tank though. Sparkle is getting this blade exceptionally quick, but Hydron with another visor. We saw him close out the fight with it last time.
Visor for Hydron, there's no window to go behind, but look at that, the Dallas Fuel responding kind of going straight to the backline already. Sermoshed cut in half. The Dallas Fuel trying to do more, but a very quick response from someone there. Notice Sparkle was low in the backline, put his shield up so he couldn't get healed. And now the Florida Mayhem trying to clean up the stragglers. Hanbin with no bubbles left, but all the meanwhile, by the way, look at that. Someone's moving the payload. Okay, you don't want to let Fielder run away with this one. They get quite a distance. That was like a good 10 meters or so.
That might seem like nothing, but that was a very important play by Fielder, recognizing that the fight was lost and just getting that extra play. That's 13 meters extra. The Florida Mayhem must push it if they want to get the advantage in this match. And we also have the Graviton Surge and the blade coming in from Sparkle. Wealth of ultimates to deal with it. Someone's going to have to drop this hammer and drop the Dallas Fuel.
I don't think they know Edison is behind them right now either. There's the blade. Beat can be used. Nice pin. Long pin too. The bubble disappeared before Sparkle impacted the wall. And now someone setting up for a shatter. He does get grabbed. He shatters the front line of the Dallas Fuel, and Animo with 2 kills. He was in the grab, but it didn't matter. He's there stationary. All he was just shooting as like a small turret. The Florida Mayhem now getting the payload going again. The Fuel, maybe they touch just before they take the lead, but it's looking quite unlikely.
Someone coming up enormous. Shutting down that blade and then getting the shot onto Edison. They don't want to let the Dallas Fuel get close to them as well. They want to get this checkpoint gun. They've nanoed Sparkle into the backline.
Yeah, they had to do it before that payload actually got that checkpoint. It was only a couple of meters away, or I think it was a couple of meters away, but Checkmate on the side. The Dallas Fuel, their attention was turned to that payload, and Fielder ends up dying. He's bumped into the Iceman, but Edison once again, how does he find value like this with no support to back him up? A Death Blossom from above takes care of the Immo field. And the rest of the team. The Dallas Fuel still fighting on the point, but it is only Animo The pesky Lucio, they flick him away, and the Fuel once again regain control of the bot. 1 meter separates them now.
And that we go back to when Fielder was on that cart. That's the only reason they are still in the lead right now. And the time is ticking down. Less than 2 minutes remaining, and Dallas Fuel is pushing it back towards the Mayhem, but they're out of ultimates. And Hydron once again with the Visor. How are they going to change things up? Because last time Dallas Fuel went through a grinder.
Visor's been used already, sitting in the Immortality field and the healing station. He does manage to escort himself away, pops his little head out, takes care of Harbin, who is low. The payload is still moving, a couple of meters to go. Can Fielder get the checkpoint? He can't quite get it. Someone takes care of him. The Dallas Fuel still with a little bit of time left to defend. Remember, they are in the lead. It might just come down to overtime here. The Florida Mayhem, they have a lot of ults coming online though, Scott.
Deja vu again. We're taking the exact same fight just 2 minutes later. Hanbin with the Graviton Surge, Sparkle with the Blade, someone with the Shatter. They're going to have to come up big again. Someone made magic last time. He needs to do it.
Sparkle's already in. He's already popped the Blade. The beat has been used to stop that damage, but Sparkle gets away with it scot-free. A beautiful ultimate from Sparkle, forcing out that beat from the Mayhem. Now they can't use it for the Graviton Surge. Edison on the sidelines, he's ready to jump on it when Harbin's ready too, but Fielder somehow from the side takes care of Hydron. There's 30 seconds to go. Ooh. The shadow's been laid down, but everybody from the Fuel scatters, and now the Grav is online. Harbin looking to set up. They might just pull the trigger here. They do, but an unreal wall from Checkmate denies it, and a headshot to Sparkle as well. The Mayhem, they're coming back. They want revenge. The Blizzard is good, separates Harbin and the rest of them from their souls. The Dallas Fuel lose control of the bot in the last few seconds.
Checkmate, absolutely incredible on 3 different plays. Drops the wall so that Hanbin's Graviton Surge hits it, and that shuts down everything, and they're able to bounce back. Now Florida Mayhem, they only need to make it 4 more meters to get the lead.
There's a beat for the Fuel. They got a Nano, and Edison's coming out the Death Blossom. If history repeats itself, the Dallas Fuel should be good. Nano onto Eddie. Death Blossom in the back. Surmajet runs away. They just hold this. There's no Immortality field, but there might not be much Edison left. The Mayhem are coming back. They managed to just hold on their supports, but the Dallas Fuel making sure they're ripping their chances away of coming back in this series. Overtime ticking down. The Dallas Fuel have done it. They eliminate the Mayhem. 3-1 in front of their home crowd.
The Florida Mayhem made good adjustments to catch up to the Dallas Fuel, but it just wasn't enough. Dallas Fuel showing expert composure like they do time and time again, able to hold on at the last second. Great job by the Mayhem to disengage from that Edison Death Blossom, but it just wasn't enough. The damage was done, Surmajet was isolated, and the Dallas Fuel take the match.
The rank 2 seed coming into the Kickoff Clash, they got knocked down to the lower bracket quite early. People didn't expect them to be in this position, Scott. But it doesn't matter anymore. They are moving on to a match later on today. It's got to feel good. Big confidence booster. They know that comp so well, and it's paying off.
Now you're waiting to see who you're going to play next. The Houston Outlaws or the San Francisco Shock. There's rivalries in both of those matches. They've already lost in Texas to the Houston Outlaws, and the San Francisco Shock only just recently dropped their first match. It's going to be a banger no matter who we come up to, but Florida Mayhem, their Kickoff Clash ends here. They've had a great performance. They got the number 4 seed against all expectations. They had a great match. They pushed Dallas Fuel to the edge in this match as well. You got to go home happy if you're them.
Few things to work on, especially with the dive, but you can definitely hold your heads high, and they're warmed up today too. I think that's one of the most important things to think about. They're ready to rock and roll.
That has to be the weakness, the Achilles heel of the Dallas Fuel right now. Something they need to solve if they can for their match coming up later today, because their dive is their weakness. I don't believe they've won a single dive map so far, actually maybe in their first series, but it needs to be better because they can't keep dropping these maps because better teams will punish them. The Gladiators did punish them. They need to catch up.
Just rinse, repeat. That's what they've got to think. Rinse, repeat. Looks like we got an interview down on the stage with Danny. We got the big man, Edison, on the stage.
Johnson Costa, thank you very much. What is up, everybody? I'm here with Edison from Dallas Fuel. Everybody make some noise. Woo! That was a close call. That was a close match. Although you guys did get the dub today, I do feel like, Florida Mayhem did put up a good fight. Was there anything about Florida Mayhem that gave you a hard time? 자, 오늘 경기 당연하죠. 다행히도 달라스 팀이 승리를 거뒀지만 제가 봤을 때는 플로리다 팀도 상당히 좋은 경기력을 보여준 것 같습니다. 에디슨 선수가 보셨을 때 플로리다 팀에서 좀 이 부분은 좀 상대하기 좀 껄끄러웠다, 좀 힘들었다 하는 게 있었나요?
제가 생각했을 때는 좀 라인 조합이 힘들다고 생각을 했었는데 생각보다 뭐 강하진 않았어요. 라인 조합이. 네.
I mean, going into today's match, I did think that the Ryan rush comp from the Florida Mayhem was something to look out for, and I was a little bit about that rush comp, but I mean, it wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be. Yeah, and you're totally right because you guys did get the win. Also, I mean, Dallas Fuel, I think, if we think about Dallas Fuel right now, I think the first thing that pops into my head is your Zarya Reaper composition. You and Hanbin's, just that teamwork is just immaculate. I'm just out of curiosity, do you guys do any special training between the two? Do you guys do anything special? 자, 두 번째 질문은 오늘 아무래도 달라스 팀을 얘기하면 이 자리아 조합을 얘기를 해야 될 것 같아요. 아무래도 그게 제일 센 조합이기 때문에 달라스 팀이 제일 기용을 많이 하는 기용을 많이 하는 조합이기 때문에 에디스 선수랑 이제 한빈 선수랑 이 팀워크를 위해서 좀 이렇게 스페셜하게 뭐를 좀 하는 게 있나요?
딱히 없긴 한데 이제 자리아 리퍼 조합을 할 때 항상 서로 말을 많이 하고 그리고 서로 잘 맞춰주는 것 같아요. 딱히 트레이닝 같은 거는 없어요. 네.
Unfortunately, there's no special training that we do between me and Hanbin, but we do communicate a lot more than usual when we do use the Zarya Reaper composition, and we sort of try to look out for one another, and I think that's where the teamwork comes in from. All right, last question. You guys actually have another match coming up later tonight, and it's gonna be either you guys are going to be up against San Francisco Shock or Houston Outlaws, and I just want to get your opinion, Edison. Who do you want to play next? 자, 다음 질문. Yeah.
네, 뭐 둘 중 팀 아무나 해도 상관없을 것 같아요. 그냥 아무나 올라와도 저희가 이길 수 있을 것 같기 때문에 그냥 뭐 아무나 올라와도 상관없을 것 같습니다.
Doesn't really matter. Shock, Houston, I don't really care. I'm pretty sure we're gonna win, so I don't care. My man! Everybody, give it up for Edison. Thank you so much. That is all I have down here. Costa and Joss, take it away.
He doesn't care. He does not care who he faces. He's going to beat them to a pulp regardless.
He seems mad, and deservedly so. Took that loss to the Gladiators yesterday. The Dallas Fuel have bounced back, and Edison just putting on an absolute show today on that Reaper, proving why he is the best Reaper we have in the game right now.
Yeah, just disgusting multi-kills. And I wonder who player of the match is. Can anybody make a guess?
Of course.
Might be Edison. Just maybe. Of course it is. Player of the match is going to be Edison. I mean, that to start off the series. You cannot ask more from Edison if you're a Fuel fan.
He just seems to get so much value from the Death Blossom so often, and it's actually such a difficult ultimate to use when you're in a meta where you have an Ana who has a Sleep, a Lucio who has a Death Blossom. He just finds his windows perfectly, and the entirety of the Dallas Fuel play around it. Hanbin's bubbles always on point, but just the numbers speak for themselves. Only 2.8 deaths per 10 minutes, and then everything on top of that, 2.4 Death Blossom efficiency. Every Death Blossom, he gets more than 2 kills on average. That is absolutely bonkers. No one is even close to matching that right now. Absolutely ridiculous performance, and the Dallas Fuel are going to need him to keep this up.
Death Blossom kills per 10 as well. Look at it, almost 7. Like, that's insane. And compare that to the final blows per 10. Like, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous amount of damage. Right. Whew. I think I'm warmed up.
Yeah, feeling good.
I think Edison's warmed up too. Jesus, remember, they do face the winner of the next match, the Houston Outlaws versus the San Francisco Shock, Scott.
It's going to be a close one. As I said, he's got a grudge match no matter who he's going up against, and I don't even think him or the entirety of the Dallas Fuel care. They're going for the win. They're not trying to make it far. They're not trying to just, get a couple more wins. They want to win the entirety of the thing. It doesn't matter who they have to beat. They'll beat everyone.
think they want to face the Outlaws to get revenge.
Probably.
I think. Outlaws defeated them 3-0 last time they were on land, so we'll have to wait and see who wins that match. That's going to be up next. Don't go anywhere. San Francisco Shock, Outlaws, coming up next.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Upper Deck, the official trading card of the Overwatch League. And by TeamSpeak, the official voice supplier of the Overwatch League.
Welcome to our first game break today. It is day number 3 in our Kickoff Clash. Zoe here, joined by Reinforce as well as Necro, which is coming in remotely to break down all the action. So, talking about the game we just got to see, I mean, Dallas Fuel, they came out strong out of the gate. The Mayhem looked baffled, taken aback in that very first round. However, they seem to warm up later on, and Reinforce, you said that may have been on Colosseo one of the best, if not the best, losing performances you've ever seen in the Overwatch League.
Yeah, I mean, okay. It got pretty close, but I think what was so mesmerizing by the Florida Mayhem was the amount of hero plays that just like came through in that final map. Like, they really wanted to win that map, and not to take anything away from the Dallas Fuel. Like, we'll see the highlights later on, but someone's pin onto a blading Genji, checkmates Maywall to block a Graviton Surge. I think that was a really impressive map. But it started out this series with Florida Mayhem looking a bit weak. They brought out this Reinhardt composition, maybe thinking that they could replicate LA Gladiator's success on this map just yesterday against the Dallas Fuel. And as we headed towards Midtown, Florida Mayhem trying to do the old faithful, putting Hydron on the soldier, 76, and providing some nanos to him so he can maybe get the team going. But it felt like Dallas Fuel, they were just on top of their game throughout and just were very reliant on Hanbin's Zarya play. Back row.
Oh, sorry. Hi. Yeah, would love to talk a little bit more about this match here.
I'm sorry, Necro. My bad.
No, all good. My bad. I was like, oh, I guess I'll talk about this a little bit. I think the big point that I want to point out here is that, I think the dive still looked a little bit weak for the Dallas Fuel. I mean, obviously Florida Mayhem has a lot of comfortability on this particular composition, and so that was very obvious to see Florida Mayhem get the win on Gibraltar, but it really was about the Edison for me. The Edison Reaper for the Dallas Fuel was just absolutely amazing. I mean, we've got to watch some of these Colosseo highlights though, because you're right, Reinforce, Florida Mayhem put up a fantastic fight, and they definitely didn't go down without one, but it definitely was about Reaper. It was all about the Reaper for me. Edison has been performing on this hero really, really well, but when you take a look at his performance today versus his overall performance for the season so far, it's pretty clear that he popped the heck off. I mean, look at that.
That's nuts. That's crazy.
Feels good when you can defeat yourself. I mean, that's growth, everyone. That's what you're seeing on your screens right now.
Yeah.
But Edison, absolute scary to go up against him. And of course the team looking so very strong on that Zarya composition. That just seems to be their bread and butter right now. And if you're any other team, you want to force them off of that comfortable kind of composition, right? And that is what the Mayhem tried to do and succeeded, at least on Gibraltar, where we finally got to see that Widow duel we were talking about heading into that one. So that was a sight for sore eyes. Now, unfortunately, Mayhem is out. But they should be proud of how far they took it and how well they looked as they played their last match on stage. Can't wait to see more from the Mayhem heading into the rest of the season. Now, Dallas, they're still in it to win it, but with their next match, everything will be on the line still. Now, they are waiting for their opponent, and that will be either the San Francisco Shock or the Houston Outlaws. And that is our next match of the day, another elimination match. Houston coming in, of course, with a home crowd buff. How much is that going to help them, though, Necro?
I think that could actually help them a lot. I mean, Houston Outlaws, they were able to win on their very first LAN of the season, and we know how rowdy those Texas fans can get. We love you guys. But I think the big thing here is actually that because if Houston Outlaws can keep up this aggressive pressure they were able to put on yesterday with the Moira and the Doomfist, we saw how San Francisco kind of topple over to a play style like that from the Atlanta Reign. And so can they actually bounce back? That's what I've got my eyes on moving into the series.
Did you see that? She said she loves the Houston Outlaws fans. And yet, only the two of us were the ones to predict the Houston Outlaws. What's going on with that, Necro? Why didn't you predict the Outlaws then?
Hey!
You love them so much. Come on.
Okay, hold on. Well, you know what? Because I just